I'm here with Sam, who uses they, them pronouns from ShrimpTeeth and other internet fame. Would you like to give yourself a little intro?
Yeah, well, first, Ray, I'm so happy to be doing this. But yes, I am Sam, and I started Shrimp Teeth a little while back. We do a lot of sex education and non-monogamy education. And as a non-binary person, it's been really difficult to find under things that make me feel good. So I'm so excited to be talking to you about yeah, what your work is and how we can actually get other people who are non-binary to also feel nice and cute.
So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Ray and I run Origami Customs, and it's a gender affirming line of handmade underwear and swimwear. So we're all trans made and everything is made ethically in Montreal. And we specialize in gender affirming undergarments for folks where the custom sizing is always free. So we get to make it especially for you, to your measurements, and for whatever genitalia you have. So in a nutshell, we're going through today to try to find something that works for Sam, and we wanted to walk you through how ordering works on the website for anyone who's new to it.
I guess first is that I didn't know that there was custom underwear.
Mhm.
And when you told me about origami, I was like, wow, this is fabulous. And also, like, I'm a little bit nervous because I just don't really know what the process is. Like, when you originally
Yeah.
said custom undies, I was like, okay, this is going to be hundreds of dollars, like, way outside of my budget. And it's not. And so I'm super excited to be having this. So I'm going on a trip over the holidays to the beach, and I've been having such a hard time with swimsuits that feel like gender affirming because I normally never wear a bra. That's the first big thing. Like, I never wear tops. I feel like for me, what feels most gender affirming is to be kind of like braless, which becomes a huge problem when I'm swimming, because obviously as somebody who still has breasts that are clocked as women tits, like I
For
can't,
real.
just like hanging out the way that I normally want to be. And so I then have to stuff myself into a swimsuit, and I always feel super self-conscious. So I'm really looking for something that's going to be a little bit more affirming and
Yeah.
cute and comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So we actually were on hiatus for doing swimwear during COVID for 3 years, and I just brought back the first line of swim after that this
Mm-hmm.
summer. And so we designed it quite differently. And I think it's actually going to work really well for you in this way because everything is lined with a liner that's the same thing that we use in compression garments. It's like a stretch mesh. So everything has a little bit of compression built in. And this is awesome if you're looking for something that like just makes you feel like really tight and held. It's really awesome for people who want like a light bind in a top. It's really awesome also for people who want to tuck while they're using the swimwear. So they don't necessarily need to use another gaff underneath of their swimsuit, although they also can like add more compression. So it's a really cool feature that comes in all the swimwear. So I think it's going to be something that's really comfy for you.
You said such an interesting word. You use the word gaff. Obviously, I'm not somebody who tucks, but I know a lot of people who are watching probably do. So, can you explain that to me? I'm just curious and I want to know a little bit more about what you're describing.
Yeah, totally. So gaffing is essentially like any type of like bottoms, be that like underwear or swimwear, that kind of compresses the genitalia. And so often this is worn for people who tuck, which is a way of compressing a penis so that you have like a more feminized or flatter front. And so gaffs are they can be a product on their own or a gaff, which just means like layers of compression mesh and material, and also what's called a gusset. So, like the bottom part of your piece between your legs. We make that the right dimension so that it allows people to be more like compressed and like tucked away. And there's lots of different ways to do that. We have a 101 guide on the website for anyone who's new to those terms or how to do that. but it's something that we offer free as well. So any bottom can have a built-in gaff, and the gusset width can be selected. So anyone with any size of or type of genitalia can have something that's going to fit them. And so there's no gendered categories on the website for that reason.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's, I guess, like similar. Obviously, I told you I have breasts, so it's like similar to binding, but for the bottom is what I'm understanding.
Yeah, really similar. Yeah, and similar types of materials where we're looking at things that are going to be flexible for you to wear all day, but still allow for like compression and breathability. So one thing that makes our product a little bit different is that we don't use any non-stretch materials, which means like it's a safe, comfortable either bind or tuck. A lot of other garments like that you can't wear like while you're swimming or while you're exercising or for more than 8 hours, but we build that in to make it really safe, especially when we're sending products around the world and we can't double check that everything is like safe for people. So we want to make sure that everyone feels really good.
Like if I had never worn a binder before, why would I start doing that? Like, can you just give a little intro for that for us?
Yeah, yeah,
Curious.
totally. So it's a similar concept to tucking in that we're trying to create something that's gender affirming for people, essentially flattening or binding the breasts so that you achieve more of like a safe or flattened or a masculinized front, something that would feel really good under your clothes usually, although we also have a line of swim binders and binders that you can wear just like to the gym and every day. And again, we use materials that are only stretch materials, which make it really healthy and comfortable. These are pieces that you can like wear while you're working out, which is pretty rare in the binding world. And
Yeah.
people wear compression garments for a lot of different reasons. It's not necessarily that you want to look more like a man. It's just a different way of expressing yourself and feeling good in your body.
Yeah. And I know that sometimes like breathing can be really difficult when you have a binder, but I'm assuming with your flexible material, it probably gives a little bit more airflow.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there have been a lot of studies in the past done with some of the like first generation of binders that didn't have a lot of stretch in them, where it can be really challenging, especially for people who are like sizing down in order to get a more flat front, where breathing was restricted. And we've even seen a lot of like damage to the body. So that's why we were really sure that we wanted to use flexible materials, and B, it's why we do custom sizing, so we can make sure that we're getting the right fit for someone and you're not getting something that's too loose or too tight, because it's really hard to know what size is going to fit you. So we like take all of the guesswork out of that by allowing people to send their measurements, and then we make each piece to their size for free.
fabulous.
Yeah.
So, where would I start with measuring? Like, because I'm assuming you have really precise measurements that I need to look at. Is that right?
Yeah, totally. So it's a good idea if you know that you're gonna get a custom garment, to go to the website and go to our sizing guide and take those measurements first so that you have everything ready for when you're gonna place your order. So under guides, you're gonna
Oh, yeah.
have
Super easy. It really just tells you exactly what you're measuring. Uh-huh.
yeah. So everything is written down in words for and there's graphics to go along
Yeah.
with it, so you know how to take your measurements. And also at the bottom there's two videos. One uses feminine language and one uses masculine language, because we want to make sure it's a process that's really affirming. For example, some people might use the word chest and some people might use the word bust, and that might feel different for you and how you present. So we wanted to make sure that there was options for both. So you might want a friend to help you with that, but if you have a soft measuring tape, you should be able to take all of these measurements by yourself. Just jot them down, and then when you're ready to order, you have everything ready.
If I don't need to tuck any penis in my case, where it says gusset, what would I
Hmm.
be choosing? Would I be choosing narrow? Would I be choosing wide? What kind of tips do you have for me there?
Yeah, basically, so when you see on the order page, you've got, where you would pick your size and your color. You've also got gussets. And again, that's like the little strip of fabric that goes between your legs. Like usually it's the part that's double lined in a pair of underwear. Narrow is your standard women's cut. So it's the
Got it.
smallest. Wide is going to be what we call our gaff cut. So it's got enough room for a penis, but it might be a penis that's tucked. Although you can also wear that without a tuck and some compression. But if you feel like you're a person who might need a little bit more, then we also have roomy, which is the widest cut that you might choose to wear if you have a penis and don't want to tuck, or if you just want a little bit of extra space. And that's not to say that people with vulvas also can't choose some of the bigger options too. Some people just want more room or have different body shapes. And there's like all sorts of variations within that.
Yeah, very cool. And I love that all of this is being included, because then, like you said, this is all custom. So whatever I feel the most comfortable in, I'm actually able to order to that specification.
Yeah, exactly. This is a new
Yeah.
thing that we added into the website this year, and it took a while to figure out how we were gonna separate like by gender. Like that wasn't feeling very good anymore. Like we're not a very binary store. We're not binary people. It was like, okay, how do we sell things to everyone? How do we make that work? And so this was a design that we came up with that I haven't seen anywhere else yet.
No, me neither.
So
yeah, and I think that's what immediately drew me to your company, is like, this feels so queer in the best way possible. It doesn't feel like it's being rainbow washed. Like you have really thought about the ways that people's bodies exist in all of these different types of clothing and the kind of specifications that we all need. So
yeah,
it's
thank
super cool.
you.
Yeah.
It's been a process, but I'm very happy that we can do this now.
So now I guess we get to go do some some shopping.
Yeah, totally. Let's take a look. We know you want some swimwear.
Ooh, I think as I'm looking, I kind of like this swim crop that has more of like a high chest look instead of the swim plunge that gives more like
Yeah,
cleavage.
that's one of the ones I was thinking that might work really well for you. We
Mhm.
include it when we're talking about binders because it does have a little bit of binding properties to it as well. So we'd call it more soft compression.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does have a lot of coverage. It's got a nice like low armhole, so you've got that kind of like 90s streamlined look.
Very cool. And
Yeah.
I see that on here you can, like you said, put in your free custom sizes, but you also have different size options. When would I choose one or the other?
Yeah. So that's a really good question. We get that question a lot. Essentially, if you feel comfortable and if you're able to take your measurements, I would say why not? Like it's something really special that we offer
Yeah.
that for like about the same price as you're getting other swimwear. That's part of the value of it. But there's sometimes when you wouldn't be able to, or you can't take your own measurements. Or if you look at the size chart and you're exactly, say, a small, then you wouldn't necessarily need to send your
Sure.
measurements.
Got it.
Yeah.
And also looking at the colors, you have nudes, you have solids, you have prints. There's so many different options. I'm immediately gravitating towards this olive green is really pretty.
That's a really nice shade.
Uh,
Yeah, I think that would be nice on you.
get
Yeah,
it.
so we do try to carry as many nudes as we can, and then all of the other colors rotate through seasonally.
Fun.
Yeah.
And I know this is kind of different than shopping, but I love the way that you're showing so many different types of bodies in all of these. Yeah, all these different clothes. I feel like it really gives me an idea of what like it would look like on me, but also what everyone else could look like in this. It's really cool.
Yeah, just mentioning that we really do try to get a range, and we can't shoot
Yeah.
everything on everyone, but yeah, it's really important that people feel represented and that you can see what the pieces are gonna be like on someone who looks like you.
Yeah. So I think I am pretty much all set to order the perfect swimwear for
Cool.
my trip. Was there anything else I needed to like be aware of? I'm curious about like washing these swimsuits and all of that information. Can I
Yeah,
just throw
totally. So, when you're ready to put in your order, when you've selected your gusset, your color, and if you have selected free custom size, there's a little box where you would put that in there, and then you're good to go. You can add it to your cart, and everyone knows how to do the checkout system by now. As far as like washing instructions, how to best practices, returns, any of that, you can go onto our FAQ and it's got all of that information there.
Oh, I did see that since these are custom, I know that there's like a little bit more of a different wait time than what we would normally expect from certain companies. So tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about like what am I expecting? When should I put it in if I want it to be here for my holiday trip?
Yeah, totally. So that is something that you're going to find that's different about us. Like I said, we're a small team. We're 6 people in Montreal making all of this stuff for you. So right now our wait time is 2 to 4 weeks. And that's from when you order to when we ship it out. And depending on where you live, there's going to be a little bit of shipping time as well. So that means for the holidays right now, anything ordered will probably come after Christmas if you're looking at gifts and stuff. We do have a gift registry right now, which is really handy if you want to tell people what you want to receive for Christmas. Even if it doesn't get to you on Christmas Day, we're doing a thing where we'll send out a little email. It's something that they can print out and put in a card saying, hey, we got this for you. It's going to be made. This is what it's going to look like. And then you have something to give to someone. Because yeah, we do realize like custom takes a little bit of time and it's hard to order with enough time in advance to buy gifts. So we decided to offer that this year. And if the wait time ever does change, it'll be right at the top of the website and in your order as well. So just keep an eye on that because every once in a while, we do need to shift that around a little bit.
Ah, perfect. So I guess the winter time is perfect for ordering your swimwear so that you're ready to go.
Give yourself a couple of extra weeks just to make sure that we have time. Like I said, we do each piece individually for each person. So it's definitely not the same as just getting a shipment from China or wherever things are being made. And I know that's kind of hard to wrap your head around. But yeah, we really want to do something different. And for us, being ethical and making things here was the only way that we could really feel good about what we do.
Absolutely. And I think that is really what it comes down to, right? I hear so many people saying, like, oh, we want to support queer businesses. And then they go buy like pride stuff from Target. And it's like, sure, this is a thing. But this is like actually queer businesses. I love
And we're a totally queer and trans team also, which is fun. It hasn't always been that way, but right now everyone's either queer or trans, which is really exciting.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool.
Well, I was super happy to be able to walk you through all that. I hope it makes a little bit more sense and you're going to get something that's going to fit you perfectly in time for your trip. And I'm so excited to make it.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
Right. This is so lovely. Thank you so much for walking me through all of it. I hope that other people have all of their swimsuit needs met also through you because it sounds like such a cool guide. And I'll have to show you what it looks like once I'm laying on the beach.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to see.